Hey guys, welcome back to the Photographers Podcast.
My name is Tiana, and I've been a wedding photographer/photographer for 12 years and shot around 500 weddings.
I'm Laurel, and I have been a photographer for around 7 years. Have not shot as many weddings as Tiana, but still shot very many. I get to now run Holland Creatives, our photography company, where we get to work together. Today we are answering some questions from our team, and right now our question is about being a professional and instilling confidence in your clients that you know what you're doing, even when you were starting out really young.
That alone, that somebody's asking that question, is incredible to me. Just with my experience working with young, new students in the realm of photography and helping educate them, that the fact that they're asking that is it just shows determination and drive to be a better photographer. And it's a lot of things that people don't tend to have the drive for.
And we've seen a lot of the opposite, which is young photographers, really excited about the idea of being a photographer. It's like a really fun idea, and I think it can be easily romanticized. And so then they get into it, and they get into a moment where someone's actually really relying on them to be a professional, which is not all fun and romantic. It actually requires a lot of discipline. It's not easy, and they kind of panic. They're like, oh, well, I didn't realize I needed to do all those things. But, our response to that is doing the job is not just being creative and artistic and like energetic and bubbly and fun with people. It's actually doing some of the hard things.
And throughout my years of shooting, I've learned that even though it is hard to do that and lead the day and have a lot of that burden on your shoulders, it's very rewarding once you learn how to do it and learn how to direct a crowd, direct and lead the wedding day, direct the timeline, and make sure everybody's on top of those things. That it can be very rewarding at the end of the day. And that's when that fun dream, the romanticized part of being a photographer really starts to take place.
Let's think. A new photographer's probably going to be shooting a wedding. So if we're thinking a grad shoot or an engagement shoot or something that you might be doing, even if you're just kind of getting started and you just want your clients to feel cared for.
Yeah.
You want your clients to know, like, yes, I know I'm young, because you and I both started young.
Yes.
And it's not that you don't continue to improve. It does take a lot of work, and a lot of times when you're just getting started, you may not have all the confidence and all the knowledge because you're just getting started. It doesn't mean that you can't still excel really quickly and learn really quickly and care for clients well. You can be 18 and 19 and 20 and care for clients well if you take this job seriously. And I think that our team member who's asking this question is trying to do that. And so if you were talking to late teens, early 20s, kind of still newer to photography, and she was out doing he or she was out doing a grad shoot or engagement shoot, just like a 1 hour classic, what would be your best advice for them really just, putting their foot on the ground and being like, no, I got it. Trust me, I got you, to their clients.
Yeah, I think one would be having the confidence in yourself, even if you're faking it until you make it, because you obviously want to care for the client. That's your main priority. But when you can really connect with them on a personal level, that's going to help calm you down and them down and make them more comfortable. Then you start adding in your decision making, whether the lighting is great, whether the shadows on their face look smooth and beautiful. It's really making that decision, but also having the confidence to say, I took this photo and I don't like the way it looked. You don't necessarily have to tell your client that, but it's, hey, I like that spot. Let's try over here. For instance, if somebody's like very driven on a specific spot, I will entertain the idea and shoot it to the best of my ability. But if I know in the back of my head there's a better location, a better lighting situation, I will say, yes, let's do this photo. Let's take this photo. But I'm going to try it over here as well. So that you can kind of show them
that you know what you're talking about and you have ideas, you have thoughts. And it sounds like what you're saying is really like a new photographer, as a newer photographer, or just someone who's young. It's super easy to think that an experienced professional always is going to get it right. And they're always going to know exactly what to do, and they're going to know exactly what to do very, very quickly. And yes, do more reps allow you to be smoother and usually faster in some ways? Sure. But what happens with that is they think, oh, well, I got to know what to do in every single second, and I can't take a moment to evaluate, to change something up, or to decide to move spots or whatever, because a professional knows exactly what to do. And like, the truth is, that's not true.
the
actually.
battle.
And so the biggest piece of advice we tell new photographers is to slow down. Because we can look and see people's galleries, like after they've shot, not with them, weren't there. We'll see their photos, and you can tell when they're rushing. It affects their settings, it affects their framing, and you know, even though we weren't there, it affects the way they're connecting with their client.
And the demeanor that the client's picking up on.
But it's usually coming from nerves, and it's coming from this assumption that a professional knows everything to do in every moment and never has to take a second to make a decision. And that's not true. Like, you can take your time. I mean, at least in my experience, I have just seen that when I take my time and I slow down and I maybe do make a recommendation, or I do take those pictures but then suggest a different spot, or, you know, if I suggest something, you know, and it doesn't turn out, or like the client even feels uncomfortable with it. Like, maybe I'll suggest, I mean, this happens all the time. I'll suggest like a prompt and the clients will try it and it just doesn't go super smoothly. And so then I'll laugh at myself, not at them, because I want them to know they're doing great. But sometimes I'll just kind of make a joke to myself. I'm like, I'm sorry, that was a bad call on my part. Like, let's do something else. And then they'll laugh at themselves because they don't feel uncomfortable, because I'm not making fun of them. Like, they're doing great. I'm making fun of me.
Like, okay, never mind. That's,
you know, never mind. Let's do this instead, you know. And it can just kind of ease the tension.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the rush and the nerves comes from that expectation. You're holding yourself to an expectation that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
You have expectations for yourself that are unrealistic. But no, I mean, faking it till you make it. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like,
it sounds terrible, but it is true. Because if you just keep things moving, you keep the flow of the day going, the flow of the session going, ask them conversation starters like, hey, what do you guys do for work? If you're in your head thinking, oh no, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, or I don't know what I would do in this, what a professional would do in this situation. Sometimes the professionals don't even know.
Right.
It's all in the learning experience and trying and failing. That's the main thing. Try and fail. And that's why it's so important to always be shooting and always learning and growing.
Well, because your confidence, a lot of times people think their confidence comes from just one, either people telling them how great they are, or them telling themselves how great they are, or just feeling like wildly successful in a moment. It's going to instill all this confidence in you. And I don't think that either of those are true. Not that having someone telling you, hey, you're doing a great job, is not super encouraging and important. That is, and I'm a words of affirmation person. Like, it's very meaningful to me when someone comes and tells me, like, hey, that thing, that was beautiful, or that was great, or whatever. Like, super meaningful. And then obviously when you do something well, that is going to reinforce the same behavior in your confidence, sure. But really, confidence just comes from reps.
Yep.
And so if you are going into a shoot and you have not picked up your camera in a week, even in a few days, your confidence level is going to be very, very low. You know, and when you're new especially, you don't have a lot of reps anyway. And so if you know that you're really trying to get started and you're like, no, I am going to do this, I am going to be great at this. If you are going into a paid shoot, because we all got to start somewhere. We all start doing paid shoots when we're still new and still have a ton to learn. Like, that is part of the game. But if you go into a paid shoot and you have not picked up your camera in days,
you're going to feel it.
Oh, you're totally going to feel it. And so it really is just the reps that are going to give you confidence, and so that you can go into a shoot. And maybe it's, you know, some people you don't know very well that you're wanting to connect with, but you've connected with new people before, so you know, I've done it before, I can do it again. Maybe it's a setting you haven't shot in before, but you've shot in new settings all the time, so you're like, I've done it before, I can do it again. And then with the camera, you're like, I've done this before. I can do it again. You have this baseline confidence going in, and so that way you can juggle new situations. And when clients are asking you questions, you can answer them confidently, not because you have all the answers, because none of us do. But because you know, like, you do, just, you know what you're talking about. You're like, no, don't worry, I've done this before. And so you don't have to say that, because obviously they know that I've done this before. But you can speak with that kind of confidence as somebody who actually has. And I think that'll make all the difference.
Absolutely. When coming face to face with, say, like a wedding day and working with a coordinator that might be much older than you, and you feel like you're small and little and insignificant, which you're not, because you're the one with the camera, you're the one doing a big thing and an important thing. Communication is a huge thing to feeling like a younger person is confident and comfortable in doing their job. So yeah, leading with confidence and communication are pretty big and important.